Well, the matter since went to court, we understand that INEC has suspended that process of recall. Let's find out from INEC's Osaze Uzi. He joins us this morning. He's online with us. Good morning and thank you for joining us. Could you then bring us up to speed? What is the latest about this recall of Senator Dino Melaye?
Thank you very much. As I said, we issued a statement yesterday stating our position. Well, the recall that after the presentation of the petition, the distinguished senator went to court and he got a preservative order that all parties should stay further action on the matter, because that's the effect of the ruling of the order, which said that to stay further proceeding, to stay all action on the matter. So that's the content of we drew the content of that to the public notice yesterday evening. Basically, we have also stated that although we have stayed action, that is done without prejudice to our right to get the order vacated and also to get an expeditious hearing of the suit pending before the court. The case was adjourned to 29th of September for the hearing of the motion on notice. Don't forget, this motion was granted ex parte, that is without notice to INEC. So Senator Dino Melaye went to court and got an order against INEC behind, as it were, the back of INEC. So we have been put on notice come on the 29th of September. But Section 69 of the Constitution says the process of recall must be concluded within 90 days of the presentation of the petition. Now, this petition was presented on the 21st of June 2017, and the return date for the hearing of the motion on notice is 29th of September, clearly outside 90 days after the presentation of the petition. So we think that we should be allowed to give effect, we should be allowed to discharge our constitutional responsibility. If we do not conduct all the processes and conclude them within 90 days, then we're out, we'll run foul of the Constitution. So I think the effect of the order will render all our efforts nugatory. That is why we want to vacate the order and get back to court so that the court can hear and determine the case within the time frame.
So in other words, you are not going to wait for that ex parte order to elapse before you proceed. That's the thinking.
No, the Commission is not waiting for that order to elapse. If it waits for that, then we'll be falling on arms. We will not be given due deference to what the Constitution says. And the Constitution says you must conclude it within 90 days. September 29th is outside the 90-day period. There will be nothing to decide at the end of the day if we do not conclude the exercise within a 90-day period.
You heard what the Deputy President of the Senate said. He is concerned that perhaps the Senate should move on and not to waste his time on this particular case, and that they should leave them to waste their time if they so desire. Are you wasting your time or the time of the people of Kogi State?
I'm sorry, the line is faint. I can't hear you properly. I can't hear the question.
Yes, the Deputy Senate President did say, can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes, I can.
The Deputy Senate President did say that the Senate should move on from this case because the case is wasting their time, and perhaps they should leave that time wastage to you and the Kogi State people. Are you wasting time on this issue?
Well, when the Constitution, which is the guide all of us, the Constitution establishes the Senate, the Constitution establishes INEC and gives us powers and responsibilities. When it gives us mandates, when it gives us things to do, I don't think when we try to discharge those obligations, I don't think it's a waste of time. If it's a waste of time, they are the lawmakers. They will remove those provisions from the Constitution. But the Constitution has mandated that sovereignty belongs to the people. The people are giving you a mandate. If for any reason they feel dissatisfied with your representation, the people, registered voters of that constituency district, have been given the power to recall that mandate before the 4-year tenure. Now, it is in our laws, it is in our Constitution. We are obliged to go ahead and carry out everything, discharge our responsibilities in that regard. So I don't think it's a waste of time.
Then, well, let me just, in addition to that, look at what he said before he made that statement. He mentioned if you have to go through verification of signatures of just so many thousands of people and then coming back to the Senate to convince them that the writing was done. What's your view to these provisions in the Constitution or the Electoral Act?
Let me put it this way. As a spokesman of the Commission, all I can say is that the Commission's work ends when it submits a certificate to the Senate President. That is the end of our job. So what happens subsequently is the responsibility of other organs of government. I cannot comment on that. But that is the distinguished Deputy Senate President's interpretation of what the provisions of the law say. He may find umbrage in the fact that some people will take it literally, say that's what the Constitution says, but there are different rules of construction of what the Constitution says. We cannot go into all that. I'm sure some other things will have to agree with him, but that's an issue. Our job ends when we present a certificate to the Senate President to say that the person is recalled if they meet the threshold.
All right, could you shed some more light on this? I mean, yes, there's an ex-party order. You say they served you, but you were not party to it initially, and you've gone to court to vacate this. So, at the end of the day, because there are those who think that, yes, you may have gone to court, but it will still take a while, and that still has the potential of stretching this process beyond the time allocated by the law.
Well, we'll do what we can, all that we can possibly to ensure that we give effect to the provisions of the Constitution. We cannot control things we cannot control. We'll do all we can to do what the law allows us to do. And that is our approach to court. Unfortunately for everybody, the courts are going on vacation, but there are matters of urgent, great urgency that the court can hear during the period. I'm sure that possibly affected the ruling of the court that should go to September. I'm sure this was not drawn to the attention of the court that the process must be completed within 90 days, and we want to give effect to that.
All right, so what stage was INEC before this court case came up?
Yes. Sorry?
What stage was INEC before this court case came up?
Well, we had notified the distinguished senator as our rules provide. We had also notified the petitioners that we are in receipt of the petition and we are proceeding with it. We issued a timetable of activities which will lead to the verification. And if the verification was successful, we will have gone on to a referendum. So we have published a notice before the week of the court order. We have published a notice to say that these are the processes and procedures that we will follow. The law requires us, our guidelines require us to publish a notice in the Constitution and to inform all relevant parties. Don't forget, there are three parties to this. One is the Commission, two is the distinguished senator, and three are the petitioners. So there is a three-way street, and we inform both parties interested that this is what we intend to do, and this is how we want to go about the process.
All right. People are really concerned about, excuse me, people are really concerned about the cost implication in the case of a recall of a senator or a government official. Tell us, could you talk to us about the cost of recalling Dino Melaye?
Well, I cannot specifically give you cost in terms of naira and cover, but as I earlier made reference to the Constitution. The Constitution requires us to conduct elections. There are cost elements to everything that we do. If people face costs over and above our democratic experiments, that is okay. But we must carry out our duties regardless of what it costs us. The same Senate, the same National Assembly gave us a budget, appropriated funds for us to carry out our functions spelled out in law. That includes elections, by-elections, jurisdiction of constituencies, and all other powers we have been given. And we do have funds to carry out the exercise.
All right, so let's get your view on this about electronic voting. We do know the Senate did pass this law saying INEC has got the full powers now to proceed with electronic voting. What's happening about that, especially towards 2019?
Yes, I think there's a bit of misconception here. You're quite right that the Senate has asked its own version of the electoral to allow electronic voting. But that is yet to be passed by the House of Representatives. The House of Representatives is still in the process. And don't forget that they still have to get together, both houses of the National Assembly together to harmonize that bill before sending things to the President for his assent. So we're still some way away from that. And until the law is changed, we cannot do anything about electronic voting. But beginning with the Anambra election, we want to pilot some initiatives, ICT, communication and technology initiatives. For example, the transmission of results. But that although the law says things should still be done manually, we will deploy technology to do like an audit to ensure that what we are doing manually corresponds with what is being done electronically. But until the law is passed on electronic voting, the Commission cannot embark on that yet.
So are you saying that for the elections in Anambra State that is coming up, and perhaps even in Osun State, you're not going to fully go, you will not fully go electronic?
No, the law does not for now, as we speak, allow us as it were to go fully electronic. Because you have rightly said that the Senate has passed its own bill, but there are still measures that have to be taken by the National Assembly itself and by the Presidency. But we will, I said, deploy technology in a large measure, not in voting, but in things like collation, transmission of results, and monitoring of the process. And of course, the card reader will be used in Anambra, in Ekiti, and Osun.
All right, so we thank you for talking to us today, Olowale Osaze-Uzie. Well, back in a moment. Don't go away.